All right, so there it is. Man, I love that beat.
It is nice to rap over.
All right, so we are taking the show on location this week. No KV. Now, my co-host KV couldn't be here, so I'm flying solo. So when KV sees this, she's probably going to critique me because she has to keep me in line. Katie Williams, my guest today. Katie, what are you on Facebook Live with this week? You going to do Facebook Live the whole show like this?
Man, I'm going to just be here, and I'm going to let the people see you do your work, man.
All right, so quick background story. Katie Williams.
Go ahead.
Former NFL player, Henderson State University, from Florida. And listen, I don't even have to tell you where he's from. When he starts talking, you will know where he's from. Now you own Capital Seafood Restaurant. You got the restaurant out here open up. Great food, man. Can't. I've already eaten here twice. Matter of fact, the first time I came with AJ. You remember AJ?
Yeah, I remember AJ.
AJ played ball. Katie was playing football at Henderson when I was there. I was playing basketball. And AJ and I came down here the first time we came down here to check out the restaurant. Food is excellent. I didn't know you were a cook. I didn't know you knew anything about the restaurant business. So let's start there. How did you get into the restaurant part?
Okay, I actually wasn't into food like that because I don't even eat vegetables, bro. I'm not even a soul food eater like that, and I'm from the South. Like, I don't eat collard greens and all that stuff like that. So food wasn't my thing.
Right.
I got into business because it was something I always wanted to do, something I can call my own. Like, I can say I did that.
Right.
I'm self-contained. And once I opened up K&D's Crustaceans down in Tampa, it kind of took of a life on its own. A few of my friends came through and gave us a lot of support. And once it grew a little more than I had thought of, I figured, well, my next phase is let's see how we can really do it.
Right.
And it came here for homecoming, and we wanted seafood, so we went over to K-Hall, and, shout out to K-Hall.
Right.
I'm always going to support them.
Right.
I still go through there all the time, But I seen that they had crabs out there, and they was doing their little crab boils. And when I seen that they was doing the crab, I said, hey, you know what?
We can do this.
We can come back down here and just do what we do up there, down here.
Right.
Plus, my daughter is here. My
Right.
daughter goes to school here, and she's in college here. So it just made sense for me to just kind of come back and, be a place where I started my whole career and my adult life, kind of.
Okay, so before we even move further, is it a doubt where he's from? Dean, can you tell where he's from?
You can definitely hear it.
Yeah, you can definitely hear
Florida.
Got a little Florida going on there. All right, so a little background so you know how Katie and I met. You were assigned to University of Florida coming out of high school, right?
Yeah.
So you were gonna be a Gator,
I wanted to be a Gator really bad.
Florida Gator,
Yeah.
and you were the first casualty of.
The Prop 48.
So talk about Prop 48 real quick so everybody know what Prop 48 is.
Prop 48 is it's a documentary / book / autobiography that I'm putting together because when I came out of college in 1991, as everyone know, Prop 48 hurt a lot of kids that was coming from low income, impoverished homes and, in the project areas and those type of environments. And even though we had talent, the test was biased to us because it only dictated things that were out of our knowledge or our reach or our understanding, from where we came from. So Prop 48 destroyed a lot of kids who could have went to great universities in the early 90s. I was a victim of that.
Right.
And like I said, Wilbur Marshall was my idol. So having a chance to go to the Gator room, walk around with Steve Spurrier, walk around with Ron Zook, talk to Huey Richardson and Godfrey Miles and all these guys.
Right.
Those was the team I was going to play with. Like, I'm going to get to play with these guys.
Right.
And when the scores came out and the law implemented the change in the law, I couldn't go in.
What was the change? Because I'm not familiar with it.
It was the
Prop 48. I mean, if you had to have a certain grade, grade point average.
Yeah.
It was. I can't remember.
You had to
all
be based on a
particulars.
2-point 6, 7 or something like that at the time, maybe 5. I may say,
Right.
I'm going to just say 5 just so I can seem like I wasn't really smart. But, yeah, it was like 2 point something, and then you had to have like I think it was like 800, 900 on the score,
SAT.
or either have a 20 to 21 on the other score.
Because now you still have to have I think you have to have a 21 now.
Yeah.
Or 18 to 20, 19 or 21.
But they're
to
giving
do
the
it now.
test with a lot of,
21.
you're getting it with a lot of studying now.
Right.
See, now it
You
come
didn't
with,
have that.
We didn't have that. Like
Right.
when we was coming out, it was, hey, sign up, go take this test, and you get in there, and they asking you something that your culture ain't told you ever.
Anything about.
Yeah, like I can tell you some stuff on the test that y'all wouldn't know, and yeah, so this test is culturally biased.
Right.
So I ended up suffering from that, and I went out to junior college in Arizona.
And somehow you ended up
In Little Rock, Arkadelphia,
Arkansas. So you come to Henderson State. Now I got to start the story here because I was playing basketball at the time. When I tell you everybody on campus in 1991, 92, we all had high lows. We had the Johnny Gill with the gas all the way to the back. We all wore the fancy suits. KD had twists, gold teeth. Like when you saw him on campus, you were like, "What is that?" Well, you what, 6'2", 6'3",
6'2",
6'2",
230.
230 linebacker. So when we saw him, it was like, man, is he got gold teeth?
Right,
He got
gold
twists.
mouth. Our original
Yeah,
gold
the whole
mouth.
gold mouth. Like his whole mouth is gold. Everybody was like, what in the world is he doing where he's got gold in his mouth? So but that's what we saw. And you playing football. You ended up at Henderson from Florida, which Henderson State had a couple of Florida guys.
Yeah, some Florida guys.
There's some Florida guys there, but you got there, and we were like, what in the world? What?
It was crazy, man. I actually leaving Arizona. Coach Willie Tate, you remember Coach Tate?
Yeah.
I called him Pops. Everybody knew on the campus, like, yeah, that was Pops to me. He came down, he visited me, he gave my parents 3 words, like, I'm gonna take care of him.
That's it. That's all they needed to hear.
He is good. She's like, well, he's been to Arizona, so Arkansas is a little closer, so we have no problem with it.
Right.
But he used the words with me, you'll be the big fish in the little pond if you come here. So I just, like.
And you were the big fish.
I just came to put in the work, man. I was trying to get where I was going. You know, people, like, the aggression part of it. Like, I was ready for the aggression.
Yeah, because you were, now listen, you were a little more aggressive than the rest of us. The gold teeth were there, the dread, or the twists were there, but like you were. But the aggression is a form of flattery.
It is.
Right.
The aggression was a form of flattery for me. The reason why I say it that way is because if I'm overly hyped about your energy, I'm overly hyped about what you're passionate about, it allows me to help you and, like, as a friend, or even if we're not friends, as a person of interest. Whatever I can help you with, I'll help you with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to the best of my ability. The aggression part is, let's go get it.
Right.
Let's go do it.
Right.
Like, everybody put their energy into the plan, and let's get the plan done.
Right.
And let's go.
Right.
So if I'm saying, like, look here, man, I don't got time for all that. Don't get personal.
Right.
Don't take that form of aggression with the conversation as if he's disrespecting me. It's motivation.
Is that a Tampa thing? Is
It
that a
is
Florida
in Tampa.
thing?
In Tampa, you ain't, like, you missed the tackle when I was growing up. Man, you sorry, bro. Man, you sorry. Coach, man, get him out of here, man. He missed that wide open tackle. I don't want to let them boys down.
Right.
So when I get home, I'm tackling the furniture. Me and my brother, we in there wrestling. Now I'm wrapping my arms all the way around his body,
Right.
so that I know how to wrap up when I get ready to tackle.
Right.
So it's the aggression part was a form of flattery, and I say it that way because it allows me to give you my energy, be as hyped about your plan as I am my own plan.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so that's why I call it
Flattery.
Gotcha.
Because
Because I don't got to pay you no attention. I'm all right. I was. People used to say, "Well, man, he's arrogant," and I used to say in campus, "Hey, man, I don't got time for that. I'm going to the NFL."
And
I used to tell everybody, "No, man, don't put me in that because I'm going to the league."
that is true.
From the time I got to college, I was talking about the NFL every day, all the time,
Right.
in all of my conversations and
Right.
everything I done.
Right.
So I wasn't gonna let nothing or nobody deter that from me.
So now here's the thing: you eventually get to the NFL.
Eventually,
It took a
took me 4-5 years.
So how was the transition from being the big fish in the small pond in Henderson? Then you go into the NFL, but you got to go through the CFL first.
Yeah, I took.
Because the league is different.
The
And
league is
we're
different.
going to get to the NFL, and then we're going to go back because I'm going to ask you about college football because it's college football
The
season.
league is different. The league was different, but Canada changed everything in my whole life. Like the Canadian Football League and being in Canada, period, with the people in Canada, the way they conduct themselves, the way everything is transpired in that country, it prepared me for the NFL.
Really? In Canada? What do they do in Canada? Wait, first of all, who'd you play with?
I played with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
So you were in Winnipeg, Canada.
Winnipeg. And that I took
Right. That name just sounds cold.
It
To me, Dean, it just sounds
cold, Dean. I'm talking about froze where we putting spikes underneath your cleats so they can dig into the ice. That's the solid ice ground.
That's
CFL ain't had the money to
Are all the rules the same there?
Well, you got 12 people. You only got 3
Are you
downs. So the rules are a little different.
Are you serious?
Yeah, the
You
rules
gotta
are
punt.
different.
You got to punt the ball on third
I've
down.
never heard of this league.
Oh yeah, CFL. It's big.
CFL started a lot of careers.
Started a lot of careers, man.
And it was the graveyard for a lot of careers because a lot of boys was able to go and finish their aggression there.
Their flattery.
Their flattery before they got into the real world.
Right.
So that's the major difference is there's 3 downs versus 4.
Oh yeah, and the field is
And
wider.
The field is bigger.
How big is the field?
It's 50 yards wider. And
So,
the,
wait,
and the
whoa.
field goal is in the front.
In the
That's
front.
like a whole nother game.
Yeah,
It's a whole nother game.
Crazy.
What, do they
and
call
more,
it football?
More players can go in motion in the CFL at one time.
And you said there's how many people are on the field?
12.
Yeah,
This is a dumb question. Remind me, it's 11 for
it's
American,
right.
Okay.
It's a lot different. It takes some getting used to, especially if you're a
It is.
cornerback.
So is that
And that's what helped me.
Right.
The big fish in the little pond theory.
Right.
When I leave here, I'm an All-American 2 years
Right.
at Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
So when I leave here, I don't get the NFL look that I wanted, but I created what I needed to create to get a buzz.
Gotcha.
You come to Henderson, nobody hear about Henderson. Coach Tate said you be the big fish in the little pond, but if you got to handle your business, you got to, work for what you want. So I created my own buzz for myself,
And that included the dreads and the gold
The
teeth.
gold teeth, the dreadlocks, everything. I took that to Canada with me.
Right. I bet you really stuck out in Winnipeg.
I stuck out everywhere I went. And then you tag on that I'm now the Rookie of the Year and I'm the Defensive Player of the Year.
What? For Winnipeg?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that got you another year in
It
Winnipeg.
got me another year.
Okay.
I stayed. Doug Flutie beat me for most valuable player. They beat me out for the most valuable player of the whole league.
Former Heisman Trophy winner.
Former Heisman Trophy.
So talk about the money there. But now when you coming from college where you're not making anything.
When you ain't making no money in college and you come into Canada, that first check is everything. Fortunately for me, it was I just wanted to play. And
Right.
I knew what the end result of what I wanted. So
Right.
I wasn't thinking about the check. I would look at it
Move
as the
closer.
opportunity because, see, my mom told me don't go.
She told you don't go to CFL? Because
Baby.
you're too far away. She'd already said CFL.
Baby,
was
you don't
in
know nobody
Arizona.
up there. I can't just come up there. When
Right.
anything happen, I need to be able to get to you at any. And I told her, Mom, this is what I do. I'm a grown man now. I respect you, but in order
Right.
for me to take care of you the way I want to,
Mm-hmm.
this is the decision that I have to make. So
Right.
I went to Canada and got off the plane and handled my business and took us to the playoffs. And
So 2 years go by. So I think you said it was 4 years before you landed up in
Yeah.
Oakland.
yeah,
So you leave Winnipeg, and hopefully you went to a warmer part of Canada.
No.
Stayed in Winnipeg, all four.
I went to the Arena League. I mean, to the World League.
Okay.
I was in Germany.
Germany?
Bro. So it was even colder up there. I'm talking about real cold up there, man.
Okay, but eventually, how did the transition go from Germany how did they go to the NFL?
This is how I got from once you leave Canada and you go and you play in the NFL World League.
Mm-hmm.
All the guys that's over there are guys that are in transition for the NFL. You got guys who they drafted with their first, second, third, fourth picks.
Right.
But they're not working out the way they want to or something like that. They'll allocate those guys
for the World League.
Okay. And then they'll go and they'll had a logo on the back of their helmet on what teams they represented. So I just went to a tryout down in Carrollton, Georgia. I wasn't invited or nothing. I just went and
showed up.
I went and signed up.
Well, with the dreads, the 6'2" frame, and the gold teeth, I bet no one told you no.
I took my gold teeth out. I had my dreadlocks,
right?
But I took the gold teeth out.
Right.
I started to change who I was.
Okay.
I started to
evolve. Right.
And then I knew that maybe I wasn't getting the love that I should because of my the way I look. I'm not Edrin James and those guys. And I came in the league when all them boys had dreadlocks.
Right.
You know, Mike McKenzie and all them. If I had my dreadlocks and I was a part of the system, like if I get drafted, I get the privilege probably to keep my dreadlocks and my gold teeth. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But because I had to come through the back door, I had to straighten up my shirt and my tie and
change
my look up and evolve a little bit. And it allowed me to get down there. So when I got down there and they timed me in my 40 and all that, God gave me a look.
Put you on the team?
They gave me a tryout for the whole camp. The camp was like 4 weeks.
All right.
Everybody on the team just allocated from different NFL teams, and I'm the only guy that was on our team that wasn't allocated nowhere.
So you made the squad.
I made the squad, but now I'm the starter. When I flew to Germany, I was flying to Germany
to be a starter,
and I started.
Okay.
I had a great year.
What was that World League like? Was it the same rules as in Canada?
No, the World League is the NFL.
Totally different. It's NFL.
This is Sunday, Monday, Thursday football. Yeah,
right.
This is real deal.
Are these European teams?
Yeah.
Forgive my ignorance on this.
I toured all over Europe. That's the greatest thing. I seen the world without having to go to the war, to the military. That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
But we went everywhere. Spain, Netherlands, we all over the place.
So talk about when you got that first NFL contract, that look.
It came after the World League. We had I was able to put together a Defensive Player of the Year
resume
over in the World League. We
Right.
went to the World Bowl. Shout out to Heward. Brock Heward was our
was your quarterback because he got his start over there.
Exactly. So he was our
He's
quarterback.
now a commentator.
Exactly.
Right.
He was our quarterback. He led us to the World Bowl. We get to the World Bowl. I'm being featured as our leading tackler in the Defensive Player of the Year for us. So Ronnie Lott gives me a one-on-one interview, the legend.
Right.
And he's talking to me, and it's like he's talking to me off camera, saying some things, and then he's saying some things on camera. And he was like, yo, listen, man, I've seen guys come from obscure places and try to make it, and it's difficult. He said, but, man, you got it. And I know we're going to see you in the NFL one day. So it kind of touched me, right? So we play the game. We down by 3. I cause the fumble. We get a chance to get the ball back. We throw an interception. The TV catch me crying with a towel over my head, right, Mark? So I don't see the camera.
First of all, you crying. That's
crying.
A sight right there.
I lean back, man, and I'm talking about my mom said, baby, you had snot in your nose and everything. So she was like, I feel so bad for you. But she heard Ronnie Lott say it
right
on TV. She was up in the guest room because it was too cold for her, and she heard it. He said on TV, that young man right there come from Henderson State University.
Boy.
You're going to see him in the NFL one day.
Right.
And from there,
So the contract was Oakland, right? You broke in with Oakland.
I broke in with the Dallas Cowboys.
Shut up. I thought it was Oakland.
Broderick Thomas.
Who I know you look up to.
who I look up to. It's like the reason why I got to write the book, bro. It's all full circle.
Right.
I used to walk his dog.
Okay.
I used to wash his car.
Okay.
My little guard brother, my little brother, he's a mixed kid back at home. His name is Nate.
Okay.
Right? We grow up, some kids messing around with him at the boys club. His mom is a Caucasian lady. We all love her. Mm-hmm. That's Miss Susan. We spend the night at her house. You come from the projects. You get a chance to go to Miss Susan's house. You going to Miss Susan's house.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we all hang out at Miss Susan's house. We became brothers. Some kids gave him a little incident, but she was good with football players, basketball players, because her dad was a coach. Long story, me and Nate grew up. She introduced us to Broderick Thomas. We wash his cars. We walk his dogs. He played for the Buccaneers. We get tickets, stuff like that. When I broke in with Dallas, I was sitting on my sofa in Tampa. Broderick Thomas signed from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
1998.
Gotcha.
First day of training camp, he go down in training camp.
Wow.
He goes down with an ACL tear, complete reconstruction. He goes down.
Okay.
They got to
enter you.
When I come in, they call me and say, Mr. Williams, we're going to fly you into Dallas and bring you in to go to camp with us. I'm like, cool. I walk in, and Broderick asks the linebacker coach who was they bringing in. They say, yeah, man, they bringing in this guy from Canada, and his name is KD Williams. He said, KD Williams. Oh,
That's
okay.
who used to walk my dog and clean my car.
He knew me as Kevin.
Oh, okay.
See, I didn't change my name till I got to college. I went from Kevin to KD.
KD. Gotcha.
Create something for yourself.
Yeah, a little something.
Got to create your identity,
Yeah,
remember?
something,
a small school guy.
I got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, from that moment, it turns into, we got to take you into the locker room, get the physical, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I walk in, and I see Broderick on the table with ice on his leg. I said, B. He said, Kevin, come here, man. What you doing up here? I said, they brought me in. They was like, man, they told me they brought somebody in named KD Williams. I was like, Broderick, I'm KD. He say, man, Kevin, you KD? I was like, he say, man, if my career's over, I'm glad it's you. What? He was back into his career.
Right.
He signed on the back end with Dallas.
Okay, so when you go through, you didn't make the squad, did you?
I didn't make the squad.
Okay.
I was the 54th man.
Cut. That's last. For those of you who don't know, NFL teams have a 53-man roster. So you were the 54th guy cut. You're the last guy cut.
Bro.
My brother was the last guy cut for the Redskins.
I'm dressed to go to practice, and you got to realize how hype I am because my locker right next to Deion Sanders. See, I'm in 6 weeks. I'm in 6 weeks of training camp
with prime
with
time.
Deion. Deion, my locker mate. So you know I'm on point. I'm riding in the go-kart and all type of stuff. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm stepping over his uniform. He got it spread on the floor. That type of thing. I'm next to the GOAT.
Right.
So I'm like, ooh, man, I made it. And then right before
I walk out
to go to practice. They call him the playbook man.
Turk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Turk came and said, Mark, you remember Turk?
Yeah, I know all of that.
Man, Turk came up to me and said, Katie, they want to talk to you upstairs.
Man, bring your playbook.
I bring my playbook. I see Broderick. We talk for about an hour. I fly home.
Okay.
I get a call
from Oakland,
from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Man, this is a long ride, man. How do you get? Because you broke in with the Raiders.
I broke in with the Raiders. I broke in with the Raiders.
Right.
But I did my tour, and I had to pay my dues.
Gotcha.
The craziest thing about that is, like, I'm a kid, like, in obscurity. I'm working at the airport, Mark, in between the football seasons. You feel what I'm saying?
I do remember something about an airport.
I was a sky capper.
Okay.
Before I broke into getting my helmet put on, I worked and I was carrying bags and throwing them in the airplane, bro. Wow. That's what I do.
Right.
But I kept my head down. I remained disciplined and earnest in myself. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I come home. I get with my family, call a family meeting, tell them what happened. I got cut. Whoop. My mom said, it's going to be all right. We'll get another chance. And then my god brother, I go over to his crib. His name Nolan Williams. And I'm sitting there with him. We having a drink. He said, Bruss, did you unpack? I said, no, I ain't unpacked yet. I just put my luggage and throwed it in the room. He said, don't unpack, bro, because you're going to leave here. I said, man, 54th man, they finna start playing right now, bro. The season over for me. Yeah. I got to find some work right now. I'm going to go back to Canada. He said, man, if you sign with Canada right now, bro,
be crazy.
That'll be crazy.
Yeah.
So I sat on his porch. Before we could finish the second drink, my agent calls and say, yo, we going to Kansas City. I said, are you serious?
Never unpacked.
I fly to Kansas City the next day. Marty Schottenheimer.
Man, all these names.
I played for real. I played in the game when the game was Gladiator.
Right.
Real legend head coaches.
Because Derek Thomas is there back this time.
Derek is there.
The Derek Thomas, Hall of Fame.
The Hall of Famer. I just call him DT. Right. I make sure everybody else call him Hall of Famer Derek Thomas.
Right, gotcha.
Now, I break in and I miss practice and everything. I check all my luggage in, go through the whole formalities, getting signed in and everything. Boom. Mark, this guy Derek, the GOAT, man. This dude, we go to Marty Schottenheimer house for the meet and greet. So the hotel limousine drops me off to Marty's house. He turned the house into a casino. Marty turned his mansion into a casino.
Can the coaches do that?
He turned it into a casino for
Doesn't
family
sound
night. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about we had a great time, man. I'm talking about family night, Mark.
Right.
So everybody's meeting their families and everything like that, but I'm by myself, you know. So for a little while, I go out on the balcony to smoke a cigar. When I go out on the balcony, Derek's on the balcony smoking a cigar. He turned. I look at him. I say, "Oh, how you doing, Mr. Thomas?" He said, "Man, just call me DT, man." I say, "No problem, DT." He said, "You know who I am?" I said, "Come on, man, Miami, Alabama,
right?
Opelika. What are you talking about, man? You the GOAT. We know what it is with you, D." He was like, "Listen, man, you from Tampa?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, I know. I already done got the word on you." I said, "How you got the word on me?" He said, "Don't worry about it. I know who you is. I already had my butler check you out of the team hotel. You gonna live in my mansion in the basement with me." I moved
Derek Thomas gonna put you in the basement.
The first
mansion.
The first night I ever slept and closed my eyes in Kansas City, it was in the mansion of the basement with Derek Thomas, man, the GOAT, man. Taught me how to be a pro.
Get out of here.
So after a while, go back, man. We go to bye week, hanging out.
So are you playing now?
I'm not playing. I'm practicing. I'm on the practice squad.
You're on the practice squad.
And you know, I'm tattooing. I'm teeing off, but it gets to what you really want to know in a second. I'm teeing off. I'm having a good time. Derek's showing me how to really learn how to be a pro, because now it ain't about you making tackles.
Right.
It ain't about how many plays you made. It's, are you disciplined enough to do what you're supposed to do, because that's not your play.
Right.
We don't need you to make all the plays. You ain't in Canada where you're trying to get your resume together.
Right.
This is team concept. This is pro. Like, this is professional. Handle your business type of talk. So after a couple weeks, I'm having good camps. The coach is starting to talk great about me. I'm moving up the depth chart. We get bye week as a celebration and from being with him. He flies to Canada. He say, "Man, I want to see what type of person you was up there. You be talking all that smack in practice."
Derek?
Marty Schottenheimer let you talk trash. Him and Gunther Cunningham. Oh my God!
You can talk trash.
You can say whatever you want to say on they field, and it ain't no problem. Like, you ain't gonna be reprimanded in your contract because they feel like you a bad apple. Right. You can get your rocks off. You feel me? So they love. Leslie O'Neal was my guy.
Right.
Your hometown
from here,
from
Little Rock Hall
High School,
Oklahoma State University.
Leslie O'Neal and Derek Thomas was bros, man.
Right.
So I used to get with Leslie too, and Leslie I used to be on the second team. When Leslie want to get more reps, he jump on the second team, and he used to show me things like that. But it got to where I impressed Derek,
right,
with becoming a pro.
Because that's what it was all about.
That's all it was all
is
about.
Learning how to be a pro.
So he flew me to Canada on our bye week. It's
Okay.
me, Andre Rison, Wayne Simmons. We all on a private jet. We go to Canada. You talk all that noise about what type of player you was and who you was, like you was a beast. You wasn't me up there. You wasn't the Derek Thomas. I said, man, I'm the Derek Thomas in Canada, bruh.
So
I'm that guy.
So hold on. Do you hear the Florida accent now? Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm that dude, man.
Okay.
I'm letting them know I'm that guy.
Right.
So we fly up to Canada, man. He put us all on a jet. We fly up there on the bye week, and we get there. We hanging out in Toronto. I take him out. The stars and the moons, as my late brother Nolan would say, your stars and moons just sometimes be aligned perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
We jump out the limousine, and a guy I used to play with is the lead bouncer. He get in the door when I jump out the limousine. Katie, la, la, la. So now it's on now.
Right.
You feel me?
You in the club.
It's popping now. Derek gets out the limo. Oh, Mr. Thomas. Then here go Andre Rison. And here come. So now it's on now.
It's just a who's who of NFL players.
Man, we have a great time for 3 days in Toronto.
Man.
We get on the plane to come back. I'm thinking we coming back to Kansas City. Derek finally fills me in on the whole prophecy.
Okay.
Broderick told me you was coming down here. Broderick Thomas found out that you was coming to Kansas City, and he gave me the phone call and said, look out for my little man.
Right.
Ever since I met you, I've been trying to find out what type of dude. He said, man, you a good dude. He said, man, and I got another surprise for you. He flies me to Atlanta.
Okay.
And I hang out with some, like, I can't drop no names.
You've been dropping names
I
all
will
show.
I will drop one name, though.
Come on.
Lisa Ray.
Wow.
Lisa.
So you hung out.
The original
Right.
Diamond.
We know.
The entourage is crazy with us.
Okay.
The stylists and everybody hang around. I can't believe, like, this is what y'all doing. Like, okay, this is so
Okay.
once, and I wasn't starstruck, and it was good for him because I don't want no pictures. I don't need nothing. I'm me. I'm good,
Right.
and it impressed like guys who were that next upper echelon type of situation. It always impressed them that I wasn't like that.
Starstruck.
Starstruck.
Well, you from Tampa.
Even with Dion always loved me. Come to my restaurant in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
He give me tickets. He calls me probably twice a month, check on me spiritually, all that. So I knew I had good personality. I know my aggression is a form of flattery.
Right. It's flattery.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. So the coach in Kansas City, who's the linebacker coach, tells me, Katie, watch everything Derek do. You're probably never going to play, but you just watch what he do.
Okay.
Derek took that as the real, hey, man, you're never going to play. I'm never going to surrender this position to anyone. So you just learn what to do in case something happened. Or if you don't sign a deal here, you'll sign somewhere else.
And you ended up.
Free agency come, week 15, they cut me so that they can get me into free agency. The linebacker coach from Kansas City, who's the assistant to the real linebacker coach, but the assistant is who you work with all the time.
Right.
He the gopher.
Right.
He go from the gopher job to the actual linebacker coach job. So when he becomes the linebacker coach
In
Oakland, I get the call.
There you go.
Boom. I get into Oakland, tell John Gruden, man, the guy is aggression. Yeah,
Gruden is there now.
Gruden's there. I'm with Chucky. You
Right,
know,
right.
everything is good, Mark. I'm
Gotcha.
talking about the career is
I know. We followed because we used to always like, hey, you see Katie is on TV now?
the career is starting to take on a life on its own now. So I go out there. I'm out in Oakland, and we go.
You're starting.
And it was crazy.
I think you started. I think you played
Day one.
9 games.
I played 9 games. I started the first game of the season. I started all 9 games, and then I ran into a little dispute about my contract.
Okay.
And my agent didn't do things that I felt that should have been done after I gave John Gruden my word.
Gotcha.
So and it's all about the life of the game.
Right.
Now, when you think about my life at this moment, and you're my agent. At this particular point,
Because you come from a long
you
way.
have the greatest story to be told,
Right there.
but you screw it up because you're not thinking about your client.
Wow.
You see, I go out to Oakland and I'm just on the practicing, bro. Like, I'm living in the hotel the whole offseason. When they told me that I made the team, I said, can you fly me home tomorrow so I can get some luggage and come right back? I told my parents I signed the contract and I left the next day. Like, I was home just so I can look you in your eyes and say, Mama, I made it. I got to go. And I left the very next day. I spent the next 9 weeks, man, in
Oakland.
in a hotel just lifting weights and training, getting myself
You ain't had
together,
nothing else to do.
studying the films, getting myself prepared to go to training camp.
Right.
I get to training camp, and I'm the 4th weak side linebacker in the rotation, and that's 4th. And you probably that 3-4 reps in the team practice. You ain't getting but 3 reps. Them better be a crispy 3-4 reps. No mistakes.
Right.
So, but I was aggressive, and I wanted to play, and I knew I always had something in me that I felt that nobody had.
Heart?
I loved the fact that that moment right before your body impacts mine, and we like the first moment of impact, I love to brace for it. It's like when you go up on a big ride, and right before it get ready to shoo and go down, you know how your stomach just
right.
That feeling is the feeling you get the moment you get a real running back about to hit the hole, and he ready to get it and cut it. That moment is beautiful, man, because that's what every football player living for. That first moment of pow, impact. I actually was waiting on it, and I'm searching for it, and I'm looking for it. And so that allowed me to get to camp.
Well, let me tell you right there. I played running back, and I was small. I didn't want to get hit.
Exactly.
I didn't want to hit anybody.
But Canada gave me practice for guys like you because the field was wider. Imagine giving Barry Sanders a toss sweep on a Canadian field.
Where it's 50 yards wide.
That's what I was thinking about the sweeps. That's got to be a whole different thing.
He will turn the corner forever.
Right.
He's still turning the corner. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it allowed for me to learn how to cover in space.
So we got your NFL career now. Listen, I think you went on to Green Bay.
I went on to Green Bay after that.
So you had 1 sack, 1 interception in the pros.
Nope. I sacked Brett Favre. I picked Brett Favre off.
Yeah, I was about to ask who was the pick.
Brett
Favre.
Brett tried me and Dorsey Levens out on the flat, but I just tried to tell you Canada prepared me to cover you guys.
Right.
So Dorsey get me in the flats. He tried to shake me off, and I intercepted and went 41. I got picked up though.
You got, somebody said that hawk. Somebody caught you. That monkey got on your back.
That monkey got on my back.
Yeah, it got a little heavy on you.
I sacked Randall Cunningham.
What was that? Did you say anything to him? Because I know you from Florida, so I know you said something.
Back then, I just posed, and I was the first one who did the prayer with the preaching hands, bowing like your boy did in Houston. I was the first one to do that.
Okay, so here's the thing, because at Henderson, you were so much bigger than everybody else. For people who don't know, Black Greeks. I'm an alpha. KD's a guy. Listen, when you look at KD, you don't think Kappa, Alpha, Psi.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is. So I know you didn't tackle him and throw up the yo. I know you didn't do that.
I saved that because I can show love to both people at one time.
Right.
We played on Monday Night Football. We played against the Chicago Bears. That's our rivalry.
Right.
And everybody know I'm from West Tampa, Florida. When I meet you, I don't say I'm from Tampa, Florida.
You don't even have to say that to me.
I'm from West Tampa, Florida.
Gotcha.
And we throw up our symbols like that. That's the unity and that's the togetherness for West Tampa as a whole. But that also happens to be
The yo.
the symbol of the yo. So on Monday Night Football,
Right.
one of my best games of my career other than with Brett, I threw it up on Monday Night Football, and they zoomed in on me and gave it up. But that was the only time I ever really threw up the yo.
Okay, so NFL career is over, man. Because I'm wondering how, athletes, how you transition. What do you transition to? What were you thinking when the football career, when you got to hang the cleats up?
I'm a guy that was I wasn't ready to hang them up, Mark.
Right.
So it got dark for a second.
Right.
I happened to lose my career and all the things I had been doing. Nobody even touched me. Nobody blocked me. Nobody did anything. I was just running down the field naturally and just tore my ACL. And at that moment, I did something I probably should have never done. I kind of cussed everything in itself.
Yeah. You probably said some.
Yeah. And I went dark for
I got
for
you.
a while.
I got you.
I went really dark.
So now we fast forward past the dark years.
Yeah.
Now you're in business. How does this because listen, you still got that Tampa accent.
Yeah.
That's not going to. Now, let me tell you. Let me pick up the story because this is how I saw it. Last time I saw you, I was working at Channel 11. You were helping Central Football out, and I remember when I walked in, I was going in to do a story on somebody, and I look up. I said, "KD, what in the world?" I didn't even know you were here.
That was crazy. I'm talking about Mark. When your star, shout out to my boy, rest in peace, Nolan. When the stars and moons are aligned perfectly, things happen.
Right.
I'm at the Wendy's with Jamal. Security guard.
Yeah,
my
people
LB.
People don't know Jamal. But
That's who I just hung up on.
When I see Jamal, I go, Jamal? Oh my gosh.
That's who I just hung up on, Jamal. He was just calling
right.
in. I actually was at the Wendy's, visited my daughter, hanging out with her coming in from Florida. He says, let's go get something to eat. We go get something to eat. Security guard from Central walks in. Hey, Big Green, what's going on, man? How you doing? Woo. This is my man, KD Williams. I'm like, KD Williams that went to Henderson, the football. He say, man, I never met you, but boy, I heard you was a. I was like, yeah, man. Thank you. He was like, listen, man, we got a guy at our school named Brian Anderson. Mm-hmm. BA is what they call him.
BA?
He said, man, he's a good linebacker, man. Hey, would you mind coming to speak to our kids?
Work with them?
No, it wasn't work with them yet. It was just to speak to the kids and talk to them.
Uh-huh.
I was like, yeah, man, I don't got nothing to do. I can come and speak to some kids and, talk to them and maybe something I can say or motivate them. Got no problem with it, Mark. I go over there, Mark, and I see them at practice, man. I see guys on the field with tennis shoes. Guys on the field half dressed like football players. I'm looking at the weight room. I'm saying, man, I'm all right, legendary school. School legendary, period. We don't even got to talk about it. It's legendary Little Rock Central High School.
Right.
I tell my LB, man, I spoke to the kids and everything, man. I'm going to ask the coach, can I just come play with the kids? Help out while I'm in town.
Right.
It went from me being here to visit my daughter for a week. I stayed here for 2 years.
Yeah, I remember that.
People from the neighborhood, like, I had property here. Mm-hmm. So I just was like, well, okay, I'll just stay in my property here, visit my daughter, have some time to myself. Presents from everywhere. Love started coming from everywhere, bro, from the parents, because I was out there and I'm yelling and I'm cussing your son out. I'm sorry.
Hey, let me tell you something. So right there, I gotta stop the story because I used to do the show at Channel 11 with Michael Smith.
Yeah.
Mike's from Florida.
Yeah.
And Mike would come here and I say, Mike, what is the difference between Florida football and Arkansas football? And he'd go, I said, just give me one, besides the players. He'd go, well, y'all whole fields have grass on it.
Yeah.
He said in Florida, it could be dirt patches. That's what
it
y'all
don't
play
matter.
on. Y'all
Santa
play on
Spurs,
dirt patches.
we played, man, we get it popping about that football. The way y'all feel about basketball, the moment if the wind blow, y'all go in the gym.
Right.
Everybody in the gym. But when the snow and when the rain come down here, We playing in the rain. We playing in the mud.
Clear.
Parents outside soaking wet. Football is what we do, and
Right.
it is what it is. It's religion.
So
You know.
So now we'll take the story to where I saw you, because we follow each other on social media.
Yes.
We keep in touch. So I look up one day and you got some seafood burger, and I'm like, what in the world is he? So I look up your restaurant, call down there. Hey, KD there? No, he's not there. Here, tell him Mark call. Give him this number right here. And when I say immediately call back, I think it might have been a day. You called me right back. I said, boy, why am I looking on social media and you have a seafood burger?
Yeah.
What in the world is a seafood burger?
First, I want to say thank you, Jesus. I give all the praise to my Lord and Savior. I was given that idea. It could have been given to somebody else. It
Right.
was just given to me. I trying to open up when I wanted to open Candice Crustaceans, I want to have something that stood on its own, like something that could support itself.
Right.
And everyone has a signature something. And crab cake is a crab cake. You know what I mean?
Right.
So what I said was, we need a functioning symbol. And I was like, the crab cake is cool, but we need to make it more than a crab cake. So I was talking it over with my fiance Erica. I was talking to Erica, and we was like, I don't know about putting it on no bun. You talking about putting a crab cake on a bun, KD? That ain't gonna, I don't know. I said, shorty.
Shorty. Hey, again, that's the Florida term for those of you who don't know.
Let me
Shorty.
Let me tell you how we're gonna do this. We're gonna take some crabs. Take the meat out. We're gonna shred some shrimp, shred some lobster. We're gonna put it all together. We're gonna form it in a patty, just like they would a crab cake.
Right.
We're gonna put it on a hamburger bun and put that with a salad on the top of it with a special sauce that we'll come up with. And we can either put it with French fries or sweet potato fries.
I love the sweet potato waffle fries you got at the restaurant, by the
I
way.
appreciate it, my guy.
Nobody has. I've seen waffle fries, but I've never seen sweet potato waffle fries.
And you can get them with sweet potato fries and coleslaw and hush puppies. But what I wanted to do was, I want seafood. I want to eat light. I want to eat healthy.
Right.
Seafood is the healthy way of going if you want to eat healthy.
Okay.
It really is. But what if you in a rush? But what if you at work? That burger was made for the working woman, working man who in a rush, especially every city worker.
Right.
Any person who on a short period of time, but they want to really fill themselves up and not spend a lot of money, but felt like, wow, I just had a real lunch. Like
I had everything.
That was
lobster, crab. I had everything.
that was a real lunch.
Right.
And I still got my truck uniform on and ate a real lunch because it's all there. And I'm talking about, you get the creme de la creme. You get shrimp. You get real live Maine lobster.
I don't eat seafood, but it sounds good.
And
go ahead.
You get both crabs. You get Dungeness crabs and you get blue crab mixed together. So the Dungeness crab give it a better sweet taste, and the blue crab will give it a better that's
Florida,
yeah,
West
that's,
Tampa.
That's that West Tampa.
Gotcha.
That West Tampa for real. You hear me, Mark?
I got you.
So, and with our sauce, with the sauce that we put on it, it's a perfect situation. Once you bite it, you will realize it's like, wow. And then when you look into it, like really look into the burger, you can see
all the different
textures. Like you can look in and literally see what's going on. And I got the boost about it because an older gentleman was visiting the spice store next door to my restaurant.
For those of you, for the hip hop impaired, when he says I got the boost,
Yeah.
people hyped him up about it.
People hyped me out about
Got
it.
it,
Yeah. So I got that boost. I appreciate you.
That's West Tampa.
That's West Tampa.
I'm just helping everybody out.
Please keep me in line with your viewers so that I can make sure I'm talking to the viewers the right way.
Got you.
All right. So he comes in and he got a cane. And he's like, hey, man, I just need something to eat. My pressure's kind of up and I want to just eat on something. He said, what's the seafood burger? I said, I took all the seafood and I just turned it into a patty and I put it on a salad. He was like, all right, yeah, let me get that. I just need to eat something right now. Man, and I bring it back to him. He's in a very, very fine luxury car. I'll say that.
Because you can't drop knowledge like the whole Atlanta thing. You couldn't drop. I got you. You could just tell us.
Yeah, he
was,
was driving one of them things. You feel me?
One of them things.
One of them things. He said, "Man, you mind if I sit right here?" And I got a takeout.
Right.
So no one's sitting in my restaurant eating anything.
Right.
He said, "Man, listen. Let me give you a tip, and let me just eat this sitting right here because I don't want to eat it in my car." I was like, "No problem."
Because he was driving one of them things that you don't drop food in.
That Continental, man. I'm going to just tell you what he was driving. He was driving that Continental, that Bentley.
Okay.
Continental.
I got you.
So he's sitting over there. He eat. I got him on I got him on Facebook Live.
Mm-hmm.
He don't know it's live because he ain't into that, so he don't know. But he just goes to sprawling everything. And then it turned out he was a chef. He used to be a chef. He just goes to telling me everything that's in the burger live without knowing. So now it's getting real love. Week later, Deion Sanders pop in. I shut the restaurant down for the NFL Network, and when I opened it back up, I was able to put together a good situation for myself.
A great situation for you. That's a great situation for you.
I done had some of everybody come in there, man. Olympic gold medal winners come in there, man. I got the mayor has come in there.
Right.
Governor's been down.
So now you want to expand. You expand the Little Rock.
Expand the Little
Your
Rock.
daughter's here. So
good friends here.
Good
I got a
friends
life
here.
here.
Right.
I enjoy my life.
Jamal is here.
LB is here. LB is here. So I enjoy. I actually don't like. I'm nobody here.
Right.
Like I'm nobody at
That's
home.
which is
like,
odd.
I'm nobody here.
But here's the thing though, because when I'm doing this podcast, I said, look, I gotta get KD on because I don't think anybody knows his story.
Right.
The story is awesome, and when the book Prop 48 comes out,
Prop 48 coming out.
when you
man.
write it, it's gonna be even better.
It's gonna be. It's. I've been in a position, Mark, to come from the project housing of North Boulevard Homes in Tampa, Florida.
West Tampa.
West Tampa.
Right.
That's North Boulevard Homes. With what football did, but what my parents taught me and what my neighborhood taught me, I stayed good with people of good influences.
Right.
People that could help me. People that wouldn't look at me and say,
Look
man,
at those dreads and
at
that
his
gold
dreads.
mouth.
Look how aggressive he is.
Look how aggressive
he,
he is.
You know, I don't want to deal. I've been able to cross those lines and have people understand me, you know. And when I look back on it now, and I say to myself, a kid from West Tampa,
Right.
North Boulevard Homes, I own a restaurant in one of the most prestigious avenues right here in a city, in a state that I never was born and raised in. Like, I don't know you guys
Right.
other than the couple years we spent in
In
college.
Henderson, right.
You see what I'm saying? But that's a couple of years because I was only there 2 years.
Right.
You know? But to be right here next to one of the best buildings, one of the famous buildings here in downtown.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look at the shot.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that shot is awesome, man. Just to be here and to be in that type of situation is great for me from a guy who come from like what most people call obscurity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's humbling to me. My arrogance is only the fact that I know I'm supposed to do something.
Right.
So I back myself with full intentions on getting whatever I need to get done. Sometimes that rouses people.
Yeah, it can be a little brash to some people.
Yeah.
But that's only because they don't sit down and talk to you.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you'll understand me if you talk to me, if you want to know me. Now, if you just want to just conversate and be with the malarkey, then I don't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm voting, if y'all know. That's malarkey. So it's just that I just want to do good business here. I want to help the little leagues. I still got contacts. I still bring my little leagues and play football here,
Right.
put on programs. So the better business I'm doing, the better I can do for the community. I'm still going to shout out my neighborhood. I'm still going to do programs in my neighborhood, and I still go home. Tampa's my home.
Right.
But I have my property here. I come here and I hang out here and kick it around.
That is Kevin Williams, a.k.a. KD Williams.
Yes.
Man, thanks for doing the show today, bro.
Man, I got no problems with doing the show anytime.